Hey, this is Troy from Planet 76. We've got some really good Sixers-focused content coming your way today. Make sure you subscribe to the pod so you can be in the know when we release new content. Enjoy the show. All right, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Planet 76. Troy here and Michael here with me. As per usual, this is episode 137 of the podcast. And Sixers had a pretty important game tonight against the Miami Heat. We're recording just a couple hours after the finale of that one. Sixers did get the win, a much-needed win at home over the Heat, 98-91. So this episode's gonna be a shorter one because we're both kind of tired. Like, let's be honest, it's late at night, and so we're gonna talk about what we need to talk about and get this posted as soon as we can. So. Sixers, again, 98-91 over the Heat. We're going to talk about that. We're going to take a look at the Eastern Conference standings and preview what the Sixers have upcoming. So, Michael, first and foremost, the Heat tonight, the victory at home against Miami. Your thoughts there?
Really just a big win.
It is.
The Heat did not have Jimmy Butler or Tyler Hero, but the Sixers were without Joel Embiid, Tobias Harris, D'Anthony Melton, Robert Covington. I'd like to think they're at a greater disadvantage, so getting a win against the shorthanded Heat with the squad that you have, which is not a very good one, is great. It's great, and it's also great because this is probably the best win the Sixers have had, maybe since Embiid got hurt. You know what? No, that's not true. The second best win because when they beat the Cavs a few weeks ago. Oh, no, the Knicks. I keep forgetting about the Knicks game. Okay, one of the best wins the Sixers have had since Embiid went down, and that's saying something because even when they have won, it hasn't looked good. The product has not looked good. And they haven't really won much. So this is big. This is very big. And it keeps them above the Heat in the standings. It keeps them at the 7th seed, I believe. And it's big. It's just big. They're, like Troy said, I forget if you said it before we started recording or not, but only 16 games left in the season for the Sixers. Most teams have 15, some have 14, some have 16. So we're really coming down to the wire here, and Embiid is still on track to return early April. That was never in question. Some speculation, but never really any doubt there. So we still have to hold out a little while longer, a few more weeks, and we're gonna have to hold out a little longer for Embiid to return and for us to really just lock in as a fan base, as a team, really. And I'm not saying the Sixers aren't locked in now. It's just tough to be locked in because you don't have half of your team. You're missing 2 starters and you're missing 2 legitimate role players. It's not easy to do that. So a few more weeks left when this team can really lock in and really, really get themselves going for the playoffs if they make it. Which, okay. Let's just pause there. I imagine they do make something of the play-in or the playoffs because at this point, even if they're the 8th seed, they're 4 games ahead of the Bulls, and I don't really considering the Bulls haven't really been that great either, even when they are healthy. I can't imagine the Sixers fumble a 4-game lead over the Bulls in the next 2 weeks. It's possible, but I just can't see it happening. Especially, the Sixers are now the 6th seed right now with a half-game lead over the Pacers and a 4.5-game lead over the 9th seed Bulls. So this win really restored my confidence in this team moving forward, and there are still some kind of nightmare games for them coming up. They're headed to the West Coast in a week or so. Actually, 3 days. Nope, tomorrow. Tomorrow they're in Phoenix, and they're playing the Suns. So, a bit of a nightmare stretch for this team. I still do think the Kings are beatable even without Embiid. But yeah, it's they just have to do everything they can to at least keep the games close. I can't imagine they beat the Suns or the Clippers or the Lakers. Why do the Clippers come here? They
Yeah, I
play the
know.
Clippers in LA on Sunday, March 24th, and then the Clippers come to town on the 27th. What is the point of that? Anyway, I don't. That's pretty much all I got for that. Um, yeah, I just would really like them to. I don't even know because you can't realistically expect them to continue winning games. I don't know. I'm just so confused. I don't know what's happening. I have no idea what's going on.
So, I mean, even just for the point that, the Sixers and Heat came in with identical records tonight. You want to defend home court. It's a team you're vying for playoff position against. And again, I misspoke earlier. There's only 14 games left for the Sixers, who sit at 38 and 30. And if the playoffs started today, you could not ask for a better situation that the Sixers find themselves in right now, sitting at 6. We've talked about it. We'll continue to harp on it until the playoffs are here and we actually know where they're going to sit. But 6 allows you to, 1, avoid the play-in. 2, it allows you to avoid the Celtics and the Bucks in the first round. So, considering the craziness that this year has been for the Sixers and, especially this calendar year with the injuries, to sit at 6 and to somehow maybe hold that would be amazing. So, playoffs started today, you're happy. But the playoffs don't start today, and you alluded to the upcoming schedule that the Sixers do have as they hit the West Coast. Down, obviously, Embiid and Melton, and, who knows about the Harris situation when he'll be back. It's going to be tough. This is a very, very important stretch of games coming up, but it was very important to get this win that the Sixers did just get against Miami. Some notables in that one real quick. Tyrese Maxey almost had a triple-double. He had 30 points, 10 assists, 8 rebounds, knocked down 3 threes. Kelly Oubre was big in 39 minutes for him, 22 points, 11 boards, 5 blocks, and 3 assists. Kyle Lowry was very good, especially late in this one. He had 16, 6 of 12, the former Miami Heat player, 4 boards, couple steals, a block, and assist. And Nick Batum, only 2 points, 38 minutes, but he was big in moments, especially in the first half in this one, and made a real nice block on Terry Rozier in the second half. I believe it was the second half. That kind of sparked a little run the Sixers had. They had a big lead going to the fourth. They choked that away, and Miami came and took the lead even at one point, and the Sixers were able to get it back and hold on. Thank God, right? This would be kind of a different conversation we'd be having right now, rather than some positive energy. Sixers would be sitting at 8 right now if that didn't happen. So now they're sitting at 6, and so things have sort of spread out a little bit in the East, but not really. So it was kind of a 5-team thing, but from Knicks all the way down to the Heat. Knicks have created a little separation along with the Magic, who are 4 and 5 right now. 6, 7, 8, Sixers, Pacers, Heat are only separated by a total of 1 game. So that's going to be interesting, obviously, because 2 of those 7 and 8 are going to find themselves in a play-in game. Or 2. And so, yeah, very interesting stuff as we come down the stretch. You said it, too. I mean, you got to find a way to be in close games. And I think, even a one step further, we're not going to go and ask the Sixers to win 4 out of 4 on this West Coast road trip, right? That just doesn't sound feasible.
Right, absolutely not.
The hope, I think, is if they're in some close games out west, or even the rest of the 14, if there's close games, there's winnable games, let's win them, right? Tonight was one of those opportunities. You had a winnable game at home because, winnable by meaning it was close in the fourth quarter and they won. Let's get it to a fourth quarter close and let's win some of those, okay? That's my take on that. You got anything else? I know we're going to be kind of quick tonight, but as far as Eastern Conference standings, as far as this upcoming road trip that you kind of already alluded to? Anything else stick out to you?
No. I mean, I'm just still like I feel like I'm kind of in limbo. I feel like the Sixers are kind of in limbo too because where do you draw the line at like, okay, this team can win, but they there's only like there's only so many teams that they can actually have a chance at beating without Embiid, and there aren't many. Like, even though they did get the win tonight, they got the win against New York a few weeks ago, and then Cleveland a few weeks before that. There's still only a certain caliber of team that I give the Sixers a chance to legitimately beat, and the caliber of team is not very good. It's not a very high caliber team, or I should say high caliber level of a team. So like, where is that? And then how do you combat against that? How do you be like, okay, this is a team that they probably can't beat, but if this happens, they could actually that's a team that they could legitimately have a chance to beat, or that's a team that they can maybe steal a win off of, like that kind of thing. So I'm kind of in the boat of like what's going on, and I don't know. I just feel like there's just a lot of like chaos right now. Cause I mean we've talked about it. I think I've mentioned this every single episode so far, but like no Embiid equals a ton of responsibilities being put on other players that may or may not be able to handle it. Plus Harris not playing, Melton literally in and out of the lineup. Covington, what has Covington
Very
played
little
for this team? He hasn't. He's barely played, and you're missing, Harris, Embiid, Melton, Covington,
And Melton's like a
it's
afterthought for a lot of main mainstream media. He's valuable. I mean,
but he's
we
legitimately
know it.
like the sixth best player,
and he hasn't been there.
sometimes.
So I mean, that's a huge piece you're missing too. My thought is that, and I just thought of this right now, because again, I mean, 14 games is not a whole lot left, and we know 6, 7, 8. We know the difference between 6 and 7, and it's big. Now, Sixers have a tough schedule, and the next 9 of the 14 remaining are very tough. The last 5 are not as tough. Okay, so like you end the season with Memphis, the Spurs, the Pistons, the Magic, the Nets. That's your final 5. 3 of those are at home, but the 9 preceding that are not fun. My question is, and I'm not even asking for an answer necessarily unless you're like, yeah, I know exactly what we need. But my question that I'm thinking of is like, okay, if our goal is to get the 6th seed, is to maintain where we're at right now, how many of the 14 do they have to win? Because if it's 10, they're not going to win 10. Fair? If it's 8,
especially when,
which it might be 8. That would mean going 8-6, keeping the 6th seed. I don't know that gets it done. And 8's even a stretch to ask for. So, like, as you try and rationalize in your head, it's going to be tough. Maybe 9 gets it done, but I don't see them getting 9. Right? Like,
I'm counting 6 wins.
you think they get 6,
my immediate,
but you think they need like 9 or 10 to keep the 6th seed. Right? You think that's fair?
Yeah, I mean, my immediate thought was 7 or
Okay.
8 to keep the 6th seed. If they can steal a win, maybe from the Cavs or maybe from the Kings,
Gets dicey.
I don't even know. Like, they'll have to beat the Heat again, Grizzlies, Raptors, Spurs, Pistons, Nets, Magic.
Right.
That's 7 wins. Maybe they steal one from the Cavs. That's 9. Maybe Kings. That's
8 and then 9. Yeah,
that's
the
not
2.
9. That's
Yep.
8. And then 9.
In 9 and 5
That's gonna be
is
tough.
going to be close to keeping the 6 or not. 10, you have a very good shot. 8, I don't think you do with 8. I mean, these teams are, they're 38 and 32 or, whatever they are as well.
If the Sixers end up as the 6th seed and Embiid is back, they have to go all in. You're playing the Cavs in the first round. That's a win. That you win that series.
And who knows who you see in the second round? Because I mean, you know what Miami does when they get in the playoffs as a 7 or 8. You know what these other teams are capable of. So, again, it's going to be tough to maintain the 6 again, with just given the fact that their upcoming schedule is difficult. But that is the goal. That's the goal. It's not like we're shooting for the stars, but like, I think that should be on the team's mind. You want to avoid the play-in. Like, it's just, the play-in, anything can happen. You lose 2 games, you're gone. So.
Right.
All right.
Right.
All right. I don't know if I necessarily expected us to break down the Final 14 like that, but hey, I like it. It works.
It works. It works, man.
We said before we recorded, we always make something work, right? We throw it together and throw spaghetti at the wall, something sticks. So
we do.
Anyway, that's episode 137. Seriously, though, I mean, that's something to keep an eye on. Over these next 14, how many the Sixers need to win to maintain the 6 and avoid the play-in, and how many is not going to cut it and going to see them fall to the plan. Again, we've said it every episode for the last several weeks. Joel Embiid's health, most important right now. Let's get him back. Things have looked promising as of recent, they've said, and so sooner rather than later, maybe he can get back, shake the rust off, and get back on the floor, get ready for the playoffs. So anyway, that's episode 137 of the podcast. We will see you next time.